forgot my cup. Hell. Get back. Successful repositioning. Oh. Come on, refresh it. I'm live now. I was pretty sure I was. Not yet. Oh, hey Twisted Nuts, how we doing? Okay, I was gonna ask people about the music volume. Alexa, volume 7. Tonight we are going to work on a couple of things. I got 2 pumpkins to finish off, or at least get further along on. We're going to test a way to use these timed white fairy lights, because I have 4 of them and I want to use them, and see if we can do some food coloring effects in the bottles, just in case anybody doesn't want to do highlighter. I also want to give it a second and make sure that music isn't oppressive. Is that achieving a balance? Or is it still too loud? You guys let me know, because ultimately you're the ones who have to hear me over the music. I'm thinking of dropping it a little bit more. Hi, Christina. And hello, KH Green. Pretty good? Alright. Well, we're going to call that okay then. Excellent. Unfortunately, it's getting warm. I really don't want to throw the fan on, but if I gotta, I gotta. Yeah, so that's what the overall stuff for tonight is. Cheese-covered carbs! We're talking mozzarella sticks, or cheese doodles, or, well, cheese doodles isn't really cheese. Cheese doodles is cheese-flavored. Alright. Okay. Let's check out some color tests. Did I leave that hockey puck light over by the sink? Probably. Alright, I gotta grab that. There's no point in doing a lighting test if you don't have your light source. Ah, there it is. Move stuff around, it should be a lot easier to do this. Cheese-covered fries! I'm a jealous. So we're going to see if you wanted to use food coloring with the bottled project. How well does it work? And we're going to see if what I read online about the fabric softener causing a good, long-lasting cloudiness is true. Because maybe people don't want to screw around with cracking open the neon. I also want to see how much glow is imparted to the system. Alright, so let's use one that does not transmit light very well to begin with. Uh-oh. I may have gotten the wrong food color. I wanted a liquid food color, not a gel food color. Let's hope it works the same. It's going all over Walmart trying to find food color. Oh, will this cork fit in there? Of course not. I have an Early States cork up here somewhere. So I wanted to give this a vigorous shake. Really? We're going to play the where on the table is it game? You know, I do red, but red will transmit light, and I know it will. So, blue notoriously has difficulty with transmitting. God damn it. Figures, these stupid things just won't. Of all the things to miss in the food aisle, you'd think they'd have the damned regular liquid food colorings right there. But no. Yeah, I've got a couple of these lumps of food coloring stuff in the bottom, so. We're just gonna with less stuff in there, they seem to be a lot less able to dodge the flow, and they're breaking up easier. Alright. I figure it's just the same stuff that's suspended in a gel, so you can put it in icing and all that fun crudola. Igor, bring me another body. Alright, let's catch up on chat here. That's exactly where I was, Keith. I was right in the baking aisle, next to the oils and the flour and all this stuff. I was right in the right spot. Lo and behold, lo and behold, it's Tuesday. I love my job. Yeah, it wasn't in there in my Walmart. Not worth a fart. But blue should have the worst transmittance, so let's see. I didn't think it was going to go in there, but I was wrong. Ever been wrong before? Happened to me. I actually still want it a little more blue than that, because that's got to mix in with the the half and half of what's already there. I want it to be stupid dark. Should just grab my mixer and put it on a single thing. Hey Emily, we're doing a couple lighting checks on alternate bits for the witch bottle. And we're going to confirm if the Downy fabric softener will increase the cloudiness. In case somebody found that their highlighter was not cloudy enough. In fact, let's be really safe and just start using a funnel now. Lo and behold, all the stuff that goes in before you have to make it, or before you can make a video. So all these questions are gonna come up, I guarantee you. Remote, circle remote. What? Alexa, turn off craft light. Honestly, that's not bad. Not bad at all. I'd throw a witch bottle around that. But let's see what happens to the effect. Let's empty out. Bunch of that. The goddamn pen is blue. Yeah, I hear you. Well, let me catch up here too. We're just using food coloring, Jen. And yes, Angel, this is more just of a color test. I will do this for a witch bottle eventually, but this is at the moment just food coloring check for color, in case people don't want to use highlighters. This is a lot easier. Yeah, you could, if you didn't want the bottle to have any kind of change to it. This almost bring me to the point of what happens if you just use regular water and then you let all the coloring simply be the light. You know, what then? Actually, under blue light, that's even brighter than under white light. Yeah, what happened? Alright, well, let's, I'm gonna satisfy that curiosity too, and that'll also tell me about the cloudiness factor. Because if people don't even need food coloring, then why? Why bother? Let me go empty these out. We'll try some cloudiness amplifier, and then see what we get. Splish splash, I was rinsing the bottle. What if? What if? What if? What if? What if? What if? What if I don't want to screw around with any of this coloring crap? And I have enough cash on Amazon or whatever to just get the light I want. Now it's red. Now it's green. You know, this might even be the easiest way to do it. Just plain old water. Nothing special. Hey, Crafty Dirt, how's it going? Yep, this is just simple, simple, simple. And these hockey puck lights are, as I was looking at it, probably the best value. Those other ones I didn't realize. I thought they were like 17, 18 bucks for a 4-pack. No, they're 17, 18 bucks for a 2-pack. And I know the hockey pucks were like 14 bucks for a 3-pack. So yeah, I might be most highly recommending the hockey puck lights for the project. Okay, so that's that. Alexa, turn on craft light. Let's check the vaunted rumor of cloudiness of fabric softener. I think you'll get a richer color in the water, but if you get these hockey pucks, then you'll be able to just change it to whatever color you want. I mean, ultimately, your choice of lighting is up to you. But, you know, yeah, I like my voice-controlled lighting. I've gotten into it over the last, well, couple months, honestly. They had a deal. Funnel. Yes. They had a deal where you got a subscription to Audible. And I do like my audiobooks before bed. A unit. I'm not going to say its name because it's going to think I'm talking to it. And a year's subscription to audible.com. Okay. Alexa, turn off crafting light. So now with a little bit of clouds. Perfect. The blue doesn't transmit quite as well, but it's still apparent. Red's fine. Green's okay. Maybe if I thin the mix and added a little bit less of the softener. Let's test that real quick with just a bare, almost nothing. Ah, excellent. Play the game of a little goes an incredibly long way. That's about that's about 8 drops worth right there. And that's transmitting a fair amount better. Rumor has it that this stuff will stay suspended for up to 12 hours before it sinks to the bottom. Whew, that's a vibrant red, damn. Yeah. That is the path of least resistance right there. Water, fabric softener, or even just plain water. No food color needed. The only thing I am going to use the food color for is I got some of these strands here that are just white lights. So for those, I'm going to put food coloring and water in there with the white lights just because I want to use them up. But that's the recommended dose. Thanks, Crafty Dirt. The music is also an experiment for me. Because this is Sam Hain's YouTube safe and otherwise broadcast safe music, which we're gonna find out. Because if I get this flagged where, oh, we're taking away the monetization, blah, 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 then I know. It's not as safe as he advertised. And if it does, I'll also find out how much of a hassle it is to get the copyright nonsense removed. Oh. This Mauricio was here. I could tell him I listened to Corpo Mente. He was right. They're pretty good. It's like a nice, spooky, groovy, or creepy groovy. It's not spooky groovy, it's creepy groovy. And I hope it works out too. I'd much rather have music than not. Alexa, turn on crafting light. Alright. Alright, so this is going somewhere else because we have done the experiment. That means I do not need this much water over here, except for washing paintbrushes. And that's what this is going to be for. That's going to be a cotton saturation chamber. And its lid is over here. Okay. Puck lights and all remotes are going over here so I don't lose them as often. That thing there, this thing here. That's going to be another experiment for the next, well, quasi-witch orb, because we're going to do something else with the witch orb. I think we have only scratched the surface for the potential of the witch orb. I think a lot more can be done with it, and that is going to be my next experiment. And on my tutorial, I'm going to show the basic model, and I'm going to show how to do the more advanced model. Oh, no problem, Emily. I also like the look of the highlighter water. I'm just thinking entirely for Halloween night. Like, if I have these, you know, I'll probably have a few of them up around the house. But for Halloween night, I'm going to want the variability. I'm going to want to be able to say, you this color, you that color. Boom, set them out, go. Going to want that capability. I really want that cork, which I can't seem to find. Hello, cat. Good boy. Where's the cork? I had the cork, I swear. Alright, it's okay. I know where there's a cork. Once again, I need to run a quick errand. Because now this, I'm going to leave this out for 12 hours and see if that cloudiness maintains, as the internet told me. But it being the internet, I don't believe it unless I see it for myself. Right. Oh, there's a cork down there. We'll just take it. Ah, yummy. From that bottle, put it in this bottle. And if in 12 hours this is still cloudy, I mean, hell, if this is still cloudy in 4 hours, I'll be happy. Because that means it'll have sat there for all of Halloween night, most of the trick-or-treating, and it won't have moved. Ah, yeah, alright. Let's get in the groove. Clear space. Stuff set. Clean off vaguely disgusting wet spot. At some point I'm going to scrub the desk down. Get all the mache crusties off. I mean, you don't have to, but if you let it build up over time, it just turns into a uneven, lumpy snot pile. It's kind of gross. Is this one of my batteries? I don't think so. No. Okay. It's time for experimental witch orb. And hello to Cat. I did catch up on my sleep. It was great. Thank you, Angela. Okay. The thing we're going to do with the witch orbs next, to expand upon their possibilities, is we're going to go 3D with them. Cat, what's the problem? Meow. Cat doesn't know that I brought the laser to the kitchen. Well, where is it? Oh my god! No, he went off down the hall, so we're back. What we're going to do for enhancement to the witch orb, we're going to take some wire. We're going to put it in funky shapes that are going to come three-dimensionally out from the witch orb. And then we're going to take our cotton, wrap them around those shapes. So this thing is not just going to be a ball, but this thing will be able to go a little bit out and give me some branching in different directions. The worry for it is that it's going to be tough on the storage for that. And tough on cats who are following lasers. It might be tough on the storage because small prongs might be out, but that's the test. And the other thing that this will be capable of doing is you could make a wire stand underneath it and have yourself a witch orb crystal ball complete with its own witchy or witchwood extensions down below in whatever shapes you decided to be in. So that's the goal. I have a habit of getting good music change moments. So, let's put this white back in here. That's the experimental unit. Now let's get going on another witch orb. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set this witch orb up as a final version prototype. The first one, I did not have an anchor spot to put my my ropes around. This one I'm going to set up a spot to put the ropes around in advance. So when I decide to loop that through, it's all going to be right there. There's no point in staying in 2 dimensions. I learned that from pumpkins. You can make a flat face, or you can give it big furrowed eyes and crazy knobbly teeth. Or you can slide your chair slightly to the side so it's comfier. Okay. Balloon. Let's also start doing something I'm awful at. Let's start making the materials list for the witch orb. I should have a pen back here. Come here, pen. So if I was making a witch orb, I would need gardening wire. This is minimally, it's probably 16 gauge wire, 14 to 16 gauge. I would need a balloon. I would need, I'm just going to do this as I do it. If I'm not using it, I'm not going to think about it. Oh, nice. Oh. Hey, Francois. $7:30 a.m. Wow. Right now it's 1:20 a.m. Got the standard night crew. With a little luck, my 6-inch beach balls will be here tomorrow. We'll see how big those are compared to the original orb. Alright. You know, I don't think the oblong shape matters hugely. This one's a little bit balloony. Just gonna let that stretch more. Awesome. Now you guys get to make them before anybody else in the world sees them. Hell, you could even beat me to it on a tutorial video. Let's try a slightly larger witch orb. Let's see how big we can go. Well, not how big we can go. Let's see how well they scale. Alright. Balloon. Container. Balloon stand. Sharpie. I'm also going to use cheaper lights on this one. Because I was looking at the cost of those color changing ones. Again, 2 for 18 bucks is a little pricey. You can get, this is a solid green one. And this was only about like 3 or 5 bucks a piece. You know, then again, I don't want to go El Cheapo if this is going to be, no. I'll go El Cheapo at some point. Maybe I'll just mention it in the video that you can go El Cheapo. We're gonna stick with quality for now. If anybody can find a source of these things cheaper, God, let me know. Alright, string lights of your choice. $16-foot recommended. Good, let's see that. catch up on this. Hey, Bernice, how you doing? Just about all the strands are waterproof, but the battery compartments are not. So, that's one of the major kickers. You can screw around with the strands all you like, but the battery compartments are usually not. These look different than the ones I ordered last time. You know, maybe I did have a... That burns my ass a little bit. Maybe I did get a 3-fer and I just screwed myself on this time. So, let's power this one up. This has a thinner... The other ones I had... No. The other ones I had 4 strands on each light. These have only 2. I'm only concerned that these lights also seem smaller than the ones I bought last time. Not good. Not good. But better I screw up than a whole bunch of people on my tutorials. I'm also worried that smaller lights means, in many cases with LEDs, less wattage, less brightness. I'm not yeah, that's not as bright. Bollocks. Ah, dear. That's nowhere near as bright. Well, let's do this. Be green. Be green. You're putting off more green than that's putting off. Yeah, I just bought a whole bunch of useless lights. Fuggle. Oh, jeez. And the snap for the battery container just broke right off of one. Oh, well. I'll use them for something, I suppose. I can still use it for tombstones. That is annoying, though. Alright. Do I have any others of those other sets? I don't think so. I think I have used up 1, 2. Alright. Well, I guess we will go cheapo. So, string lengths of choice, 16 foot. Now, this is going to be the bottom. Need to mark how big the bottom aperture is going to be. If I slide that up, it'll hit the light stand. It's not much wider than it, but there will be an up curve. Alright, that should still work. So, bottom aperture. I could probably make the bottom aperture more boxy, but meh. Yep, gonna have to use those for something else. Not thrilled about it, but oh well. least I have the correct lights in my order history. I gotta fix that video, though, where I put the lights on there. I mean, those things will work. I just don't think they're gonna be as bright. I gotta fix that video link that I put them on, because that ticks me off that I advertised the wrong thing. Alright. So next step is where my hook points are going to be. I want 3 hook points. I want them here. They're going to be in a triad. Here. And here. Alright, so I need a piece of wire that will make a circle around my 3 hook points. Alright, so I need wire cutters. Wire cutters. And hot glue / gun. Let's make a round piece. Transitions through all of those points. That'll do. Let's hot glue the ends together, and let's make sure that they are covered with blobs so they cannot puncture the balloon. Now we're going to make sure they're cool, because if I put something too hot on the surface of that latex, it's going to go pop. I can send them back. Quite frankly, it's a bit of a hassle. I may yet. I mean, the one I just broke there, so I got 2 more. I could save myself. You know, that's almost $40. So yeah, I probably am going to send those back. They're unopened. That way I'm only out 1 set with a broken piece and not the full shebang. Hey, Colleen, we are working on the first kind of official version of the witch orb, and screwing around with lighting of witch bottles, and screwing around with buying the wrong stuff in many cases. We are learning from our mistakes. I should have made that a little bit bigger, but that is a-okay, because it's not going to make a huge difference. So, one there, one here, and one here. Hello, cat. Alright, I can unplug this. Only vaguely more apt to pop it. The wire's only purpose is that I'm going to leave 3 gaps in here. On the original witch orb, I had to string the yarn underneath extensions. In this one, I'm going to leave 3 areas open that will be open and have the wire in the center. so that when I decide to hitch this together, I will have pre-thread points to loop my stuff through, and that'll give me more options with how it looks in the threading, because I can then wrap it around a little bit, make it look a little bit more gooey and viney. I could even take some cotton up each one of them and make it look like the strand is growing out. It's going to give me a lot more options in my final form. Alright, so hot glue gun, Sharpie, We're going to need mache paste. Mache paste. We're going to need cotton batting. We're going to need cotton balls. We're going to need a saturation chamber. Okay. There's cotton batting. There's pre-fluffed cotton balls. And that's still my saturation chamber, damn it. So let's take this off. And get ready to give it a little hat. In every location except for those three. Okay. I am going to do tendrils extending out, but I'm going to let the first round of cotton harden before I put those on, because those are going to be first hot glued to the outer surface, and then, and only then, will we start working with adding extension pieces. That way we can be sure that the wire is not contacting the balloon. The wire is resting against the mached and hardened cotton. And there's no chance that it will puncture the balloon, or otherwise just be an absolute pain in the butt to deal with, because that's a far more likely eventuality in this case than anything else. That would just be a pain. Alright, let's give it a hat. I'm not going to cover any of the extension areas. Let's get some batting bits, because they bulk beautifully betwixt the bits of the ball. There we go. Alliteration. My 10th grade English teacher will be so proud. There's our saturated pieces, which are going to go on around those areas, provided the saturation is good enough. Boom. That's all right. Let's just... there. Only problem with the witch orb in this stage, it's a little, top heavy-ish. Alright, so I haven't used anything new. Saturation chamber, cotton stuff. Nothing new. To be honest with you, the what you need section is always one of my biggest problems on making tutorial videos. I always either forget something or put something out, and I do like to give quality information the first time, if at all possible. There. Alright, so those are all open. Let's take a look at our ring. And that works really well. It actually tells me exactly what I've got to work with. Perfect. Perfect. I will show you all on close-up once it is more donerer. My tunes have stopped. I don't think the thing knows this command, but let's try Alexa, play that again. No, I don't think it does. That's okay. I need this in 2 pieces. Oh, it does know that command. That's pretty slick. Come here. Okay, get that locked in place. Hello, cat. That would be a good idea, Crafty. An excellent idea. I may just do that, or find something to the equivalent. Because sadly, I have no beans. And I lost all my marbles. Ah, is that the command, Sergeant? I will remember that the next time it goes silent. Or let's just do it now. Alexa, loop.
Loop mode on.
Good. That was the whole idea, Jen. Stop me from going insane because I had absolutely nobody to craft with. And ideally give other people to craft with too. It's one of the things crafters need is a little support and community, because for most of us, where do you craft? You craft at home. It's hard to craft with people when you're crafting in your house unless you've got neighbors, and for the things like this particular hobby, the chances that you're going to run into somebody right next door who's as into it as you are not bad, but not, not fantastic either. That was the other goal. I've invested heavily in a company that sells keyboard cleaning equipment. I should totally go on to, there's ad settings and all the YouTube channels and whatnot. I absolutely never screw with them at all because I couldn't care less what ads come up or whatever, but it would be very, very, very market targeted if I told them to advertise for a company that sells stuff to clean up keyboards and mice easily. Did you get mache paste all over your stuff again? Well, our product can help. This handy scrubber will scrub your keyboard without ruining it. Oh, I wish I had a pair of forceps. That's okay. Good. All right, give me a tiny piece. Good. Tiny piece. Tinier piece. Good. Yeah, I hear you, Jen. It's one of the things I don't like about this is it's not as easy as, try to find somebody who's obsessed with football. Well, that's easy. Anywhere, anytime, any bar, done. Find somebody who's obsessed with Halloween? Maybe yes, maybe no. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're a little black cat who catches the laser. Sometimes the laser gets away. Sam, what's the problem? You were after that bug, weren't you? I saw it. I know. Which way did it go? Did it go in the hall? Go in the ceiling? Where'd the bug go? Couldn't have gone there. It's not even in this country. Fine. The mysterious red dot home invader has once again reappeared. Ah. Yeah, give me a sec for a while. It is a little hard to laser when your hands are covered in mache. A couple more sections here. Let's start getting more creative. Go boy. You are so talkative tonight, cat. So very, very talkative. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Good. Alright, so here's the concept for the, just want to make sure this thing doesn't have any sharp balloon popping edges. Here's the concept for the wire. There is an open space, and I want to make sure that this is visible on the channel, so give me a second for it to catch up with me. There we go. Yeah, that's a good height. Okay. So when I thread this thing, I'll have that space be completely open. So my yarn or twine or whatever substance I want to use to hang this with will have a spot where I can just loop it around that wire, and it'll be in perfect shape to hook into the project. So its mounting will be pre-built in. That is the idea of the wire. Let's build up the hat. The thicker I make the hat, the sturdier the project will be. Okay, that's that. Let's do some branches down. Then we'll see how well the wire ridge hides, because I can see it as a halo around the outside. For the last product, I took 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5-ish bits down. And I think the last witch orb had a-okay numbers of downward branches. You know, I don't even have to screw with the lights tonight. I can order everything I need this evening, and it will be here in plenty of time for me to put the right type of lights in there. Good. That's a load off. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll grab those pumpkins out and get some paint on them. Be in great shape. Take that down from there. It doesn't need to be as long. Strand there. Bends over and back. Saturate well enough. Just take that straight down. That's 3. That'll be a big wide empty. Okay, goober time. Pardon. Take a nap, Sarah. It'll all be online. Eventually, it will be at saner hours, too. In the long run. Hey, Paul. Yeah, they're coming out pretty well. This one's going to be the more three-dimensional version. Of course, I got to order new lights because the ones I bought and spent a fair amount of cash on are the wrong ones. That's what happens when you don't check your order history well enough. That's what we'll do with them. And make sure that these contact ridges are hidden first. So afterwards, anything that's done around them will be simple. That should be fine. Goober time, goober time. Kind of thinking I should adjust the camera so it's more on what I'm actually doing. Let's see if we can put this more in here. Is that better? So, let's go up a bit. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately it is one of the traits of spook music, doesn't always have a destination for itself. If the music ever gets, like, we're tired of hearing this, let me know. I can easily turn it off. I'd love to have a setting where the camera was right behind me, facing down, like right over the top of my head. The stupid copyright laws weren't what they are, and definitely have a lot more adroitness and variety of tunes at my disposal. Yeah, now everybody's going, now that you mention it, it's pretty monotonous. Oh, dear, dear. I need something that's not copyrighted that I can play on my channel. Have you tried the song that never ends? Really? Yeah. Just turn that on for about 4.5 hours. Do you know that Barney song, I Love You, is not copyrighted? You could go ahead and play that for 6-8 hours. Nobody would give a problem with that. Oh, dear. "27 people dead because they were listening to a live broadcast of some guy online playing the Barney the Dinosaur song for entirely too long. Massive hemorrhages were ruled to be the cause of death." But is it copyrighted, Sarah? They have lots of stuff on there, but if the way YouTube works is if you play music that is copyrighted, the monetization on your video will be instantly and automatically shut down. Because you were playing copyrighted music without permission. And I have written to Midnight Syndicate before asking for permission, but I never received a response from them. Yeah, get the lamb chop version. I wonder if there's a faster way to goober. I don't really think there is, but be nifty if there was. As was, I spent a couple hours watching Supernatural and unwinding cotton balls the other night. Still very impressed with the strength of the material, though. The shea-saturated cotton comes out like iron. Nox Arcana is free. Let's see here. It's been a while since I've listened to Nox Arcana. Then again, there's a band called simply Arcana, and I'm probably getting the two of them confused. Nox Arcana, if I remember right, was a metal band. Yeah, I'll agree with that, Sergeant. Take it slow. Take it slow, let it groove. There is a YouTube copyright-free library. To play those songs, though, I would need access right to my PC. And my PC right now is in the other room. Because I am using the Amazon device to play the tunes That's right, we gotta start alternate branches early. So an alt branch there. Yeah! The Spooky Scary Skeleton remix. Non-stop for hours on end. And yeah, that's the other problem with the YouTube approved stuff, is it is incredibly cheeserific. Almost be better to listen to the Barney song than some of that stuff. So keep around for the balance. Well, the great thing is you can go as thin or thick with a lot of this as you want. Like that first one I did had gaps all over it, and light was coming out of those gaps. Just give your space between your goobers. I think the other thing I'm going to do right now before I get too far ahead is get my filaments around the outer edge going, because if I put those down now and then I put bigger stuff over them, that'll look a lot more natural. So let's do filaments before goobers. Let's write that down. Filaments before goobers. Let's catch up on this chat. Yeah, look, that's one of the things I love about them too. Any quote-unquote screw-up you make is very, very easily just, oh, well, just take it a little to the left, a little to the right, boom, you're done. Okay, it's fixed. Problem over. Crisis averted. Filaments. Filament. You know, I bet I can get good filaments if I just squeegeed more stuff out of there. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. I can just dip a finger, run it down. Let's get some filaments. That one's going to be a goober. was filaments, and I bent it in half. Done. Grab another piece. Squeegee. Give it a little tease apart. Tug it, and it's filaments. Good, filaments are done. Let's catch up here. Let's hope you're not lagging, Twisted. That old Bob. Always loved his happy little accidents. That one's going to need to go that way at the bottom. That one's just going to be a straight drop. Actually, no. This one's going to be a straight drop. This one's going to have an angle over. And this one's going to have an angle over. Actually, no, it's going to have a burden curl. Should be steeper. Let's get another Burton curl over here. Yeah. A long burden curl. Yeah, I saw that information that he was a drill sergeant. I was very surprised by it, too. His showman's demeanor was very, very chill. Very chill. Any kind of show, though, that doesn't surprise me. I am not always the boisterous person that I show up on, as is my YouTube videos. But if you see me online, I will never be anything but this persona. Be happier, soldiers! Be happier! That reminds me of the old phrase, the beatings will continue until morale improves. I should have taken that curl the opposite way. Great. Hey, Mauricio, how we doing? Yeah, we're doing Witch Orb 2.0. We're going to do a little bit more 3D effects with it. And, yeah, mostly that. We're going to break off into whole new dimensions with this one and see just how variable and flexible we can get with the project. sticking to the latex is all as I would have liked. There we go. That's even better. I'll build off of that one tomorrow when it's dry. Takes the happy lotion and puts it on its skin, or else it gets the hose again. This is Sam Haines, YouTube and Twitch and Stream Safe Music, which we're gonna see if it actually is. Stream and Twitch and all that safe. We're gonna find out. Hell or High Water, though, I do love this song, so. Twitch is a system favored usually by people who stream their video gaming. And I will be utilizing it as soon as I get this secondary monitor working. So I'll be streaming to 2 different platforms at once. I'd stream to Facebook as well, but the multi-streaming service that I want, or am using currently, wants to charge me for that, and Facebook can go itself because I ain't paying extra. If I had another computer and another camera, yeah, but I ain't doing that either. Because no way am I going to be crafting and trying to read like 6 different chats. The multi-streaming service will put a window up where everybody will be in the same chat, or at least I'll be able to see all of it all at once without going insane. Cups, containers, Tupperware. Whatever I can get, Sarah. That's what I usually use. Anything I've got around. I use old Chinese order stuff, as you can see here. This comes from the local Chinese restaurant. I got these buckets a couple years ago at the dollar store. I just knocked that over because it did. Anything I can get that is relatively cheap, and quite frankly, usually just round. So long as it's got a round aperture, if I'm working on a round project, gotta be round. That's all. Yeah, the submarine's off tonight, Bohemian, because I don't have the fan on me. It's cool enough that the humidity is tolerable. I'm not sitting here sweating while I'm trying to craft. Random stuff to incorporate into projects. I'm not going to say no, but I can't think of an example off the top of my head. Of, yeah, that one time I was just sitting around and I thought I'll throw this in there. So at the moment, I can't think of anything I have definitively done where I remember it being, oh wow, I never would have thought to do that. So, do I do it? I'm sure I do it. Do I remember exactly where? Not at all. Not at all. More braids. Honestly, this isn't even patience. This is just, I do the task until it's done. Just keep on rocking it. And by done, that's when I like the look. This isn't very hard, it's just repetitive. It's much like layering a pumpkin, you know? It's not a difficult job, it's just repetitive. Take a strip, put it on, drop your paintbrush, moisten it up, put it on, over and over and over and over again. I do have a Facebook page, but because I'm a teacher, nobody's getting my account. Not to say I don't trust people here, I don't dare. My profession is fraught with many a public relations peril, and I refuse to even invite that into the world. It's the reason my Facebook is on complete lockdown. If you're not on my friends list, you don't see anything. I have occasionally chatted to many a student at once, yes. I don't like to yell and holler at classes because with the kids I teach, it doesn't faze them at all. There are some folks who come from homes that are very orderly, very, rules-based, and the minute, mom or dad raises their voice, the kid knows it just got serious, and, things are hitting the fan. With our kids, a lot of their homes are like, that's just the only way to be heard in the house, is to shout and holler. So, by screaming, you don't merit anything special. You're no different than the mom or dad who may be having difficulties already. So it's the old parenting trick of you get louder, I get quieter. You get louder, I get quieter. You get louder, I get quieter. There's that. Ice cream tubs. Yeah, those are handy too. Oh, good. Yeah. Milk jugs is something I got to get into at some point. Yeah, we'll probably be using yarn on this one at length too. Of course, that leads me to kind of wonder, could you incorporate yarn on a larger basis into this project? Probably. Since paper mache yarn is also a relatively stiff and stalwart material. I want wisps. Give me a wisp, thank you. I teach many flavors of science. Biology primarily. I like the flour and water mix, but I like to add starch, and I like to add white glue to it. Which just gives it a little bit extra. Hey, Madge, what's up? How are you, kitten? How is the fuzzle? Yeah, good girl. Madge has no idea. She's looking at me like, you're still there. You've been there for a while, you know. Hey! Hey! Ah, somebody said you work at a school too. Very cool. Very cool. I like education when I'm actually able to do it right. There's too much bureaucracy and politics in school. Way too much. Too many people who aren't educators trying to make policy decisions for schools. Of course, that's a loaded gun subject. How's that look compared to this? About the same. Gotta do more goobers over here. Ah, sub. I wish we could get subs here. It's a friggin' nightmare. There's simply no subs in our district. I hate calling out because I know that nobody's going to be able to come in for me. Well, it's debatable what starch does. I personally believe the starch gives a little bit of added rigidity to the whole mix. Flour gives you some good strength, but I think that starch just gives you more stiffness. I can't prove that. I haven't tested it with any kind of actual devices, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, Mauricio, it's a huge problem, especially in our district. We have a place which we call ALS, which is the Alternative Learning Site. In truth, what it is the in-school suspension room. And when we don't have staffing, our person who manages the in-school suspension room has to abandon that room and go sit in a classroom and, do whatever. So we lose our ability to say, this kid is simply not able to be in class at this time for whatever reason. They need a place to go. And while I rarely have to send students out, not having the ability to is not something that the teachers should be faced with. We need to have the capacity to handle, not necessarily crisis situations, but you need to have the capacity to handle kids who are otherwise unable to handle class right now. These are pretty wicked. Welcome, Critical. In this particular batch, I just took cornstarch and added some to it. To make liquid starch, all you do is boil water, put cornstarch in it, and give it a couple minutes to clarify. So, I personally don't see a huge difference between liquid starch and dry starch. I just like to make sure the dry starch is in there. Alright, I need some braids. For braids, I need a couple pre-made strandy goobers. Night, Crafty. Have a good one. Critical, these do light up. Oh, ye of little faith. Of course, it turns them all on, but of course they light up. Alexa, turn off craft lights. Yeah, let's dim that down so you guys get a better color correction. Yep. So they certainly do light up. Of course, the off only works for what it's designed for. Alexa, turn on craft lights. Of course, the one in the living room seems to process that. Alexa, turn on craft lights. There we go. Off. Off. Yeah, good. That remote works for both. Whew. Alright, let's re-catch up on chat here. Well, let's do a goober or two before they get dry. And then I will re-catch up on chat. There's a twist. Twist. And leftover, okay. Da, 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 da. Well, I am somewhat chagrined at the device in that I know that it listens to everything, and it is, effectively having a spy in the house. But my father is absolutely paranoid about privacy and secrecy, and he would never have a device like this in his home. I don't do anything illegal, so I'm really not worried at all. Any way, shape, or form. If I'm even vaguely concerned, I mute the microphone, and there we go. Because you can mute the microphone on individual units locally. And that's no biggie. Oh yeah. Something like this would be, as far as I'm concerned, useless if it couldn't light up. Because otherwise you'd have to throw your own light source on it on Halloween night, and I don't like a haunt that's so pitch black you can't see anything, but I want it dark. I want it dark with spooky stuff. Where's that? That's a solid one. There's a lead off. Come here. Well, that's what I was thinking. Let's play with yarn on this project too. Alright, I guess I'm pulling it out of this side. Let's do a couple test things. Let's get some yarn. Squeegee strands. Twist them up. Not too tight. Yeah, they're not really sticking together well. Let's fluff out the ends. That's a weakness of yarn in this project. The ends don't really splay out nicely. I suppose if I gave them a little tug apart, I can bring them out to their component strands. Alright, let's be a little more experimental then. The other problem is that the yarn will come out slightly different in color, because this yarn is already brown. Alright, break up the end. Have a dunk. Have a dunk. Let's lay a couple in there and see how they look. Couple tiny pieces. Let's catch up on this. 91 days, huh? Yeah, sorry I'm getting to this late. Yeah, there are quite a few regulations to follow, Sarah, and it's, in my opinion, there are a lot of unofficial regulations, particularly if you're working with at-risk students. It's just a lot of things you do and don't do. And a lot of it is social media. You're very, very, very careful with what you do. There's too many instances and opportunities for things to go very, very badly. And most of them are just pure carelessness. And it's also a weird divide, because you want to have a good relationship with the students, but you can't exactly be like, yeah, this is my home address, come on over anytime. That's a no. You have to maintain a professional distance too, because when teachers don't maintain those professional distances, they get in the newspapers, and I ain't even going there. Touch that with a 30-foot pole. No, thank you. Let's go. Every day is Halloween. Take care, Francois. Have a good one. You probably already left, but I'll see it anyway. Yeah, I agree. It will do it better if I brushed them out first, but ain't nobody got time for that right now. The yarn, I think this is Red Heart. Yep, that's Red Heart Super Saver. Oh, the specific color? Brown. Worsted. Yeah, brown. It's brownish yarn. Oh, cool. Our students are seldom violent, but I also teach special education where you do, from time to time, get a violent student. They are usually not violent towards staff. Usually they are frustrated, angry, and it's time to flip a desk. That kind of violent. Lash out, punch a wall, break a window, slam a door really, really hard. That kind of violent. But usually never hit teachers violent. I'm not going to say it's never happened. It's certainly never happened to me. Yeah, there's definitely a fine line between the kids and the adults. It depends on if you're, with any student, do they want to learn? If they don't want what you're selling, you're gonna have a tough job. No matter what you do. It's just gonna happen. Yeah, allegations can destroy a teacher's career just as easily as if whatever happened was true. Absolutely. I wish I could have more students involved in my haunts. And there are a lot of great students that I do have that I would have involved if they wanted to be. But once you extend that to one, you may end up extending it to all. And if I call too much attention to it, and I got to be careful what I say even here because somebody might watch these online. My fear, I don't have a huge fear of it because most of the folks I teach are, even if they're having troubles at school, troubles at home, they're really good at heart. There is no student I have ever taught where it's like, this kid is a monster, They're gonna come to my Halloween and they're just gonna break stuff and be miscreant. I have never had a kid like that, but that fear lingers in the back of my mind. And so consequently I am leery of getting my students involved. So, plus from there you run the thing of, who's driving them to the haunt. We support about 8 districts, and me giving a kid a ride out of school hours, that's one all the big bosses are going to shake their heads and go, you shouldn't be doing that. And, I can't exactly say, no, I'm totally going to do that. Screw you guys. That's my livelihood. As much fun as it would be to do nothing but crafting for Halloween, this, I likes having my insurance and all. That is a tough one, Bohemian. I am very, very lucky that I live in a area where I can do this with reasonable surety that people will be by on Halloween night. And actually, even when I lived in places where I didn't have that, I haunted in a place that was in city. My original haunt was in a place called Baldwinsville, New York. And I didn't live there. I hauled all my stuff up and over. To this day, I still haul everything to the haunt. I don't haunt my own place. I haunt a friend's house. I'm very glad that we switched from Baldwinsville to Norwich, because it's infinitely easier to haul all my stuff across town than haul all my stuff an hour, 15 minutes north. Yeah, I figured haunted hallway would be right there. It's easiest. Easiest and simple. It's right here. Well, I wouldn't use this type of yarn in this kind of project. I think if I got like a big fluffier, woolier kind of yarn, that might work, but this stuff is it's not orb material. I do agree, though. Maybe if I brushed it out first, I would be having better results. This is just hanging limp. Even problematic. Any others doing that? Alright, we gotta goober that up. Okay. Cool. We have a pumpkin carving contest, which for the last 3 years, my classes have always won the scariest. But I usually don't have a lot of input in it, quite frankly. One of the things you can't do as a Halloween fanatic at a school level is be sitting there, you know, trying to muscle your way in on kids' projects. I made a vampire! Your vampire looks terrible. The fangs are too short. Come on, fix it. Let's go! Has to be, look what we did! Great! Throw it in the contest. I think it's amazing. Even if I think it looks awful. Doesn't matter what I think. It's you guys having some fun. Yeah, I agree with you, Emily. 100%. If it was a wool yarn, it would probably soak it up much better. But yeah, the acrylic just won't. Nature of the beast. I don't know if the top of this thing is a little bit too unbulked. But at the same time, I don't want to put 1,000 layers on it because it'll take forever to dry. Just have fun with it. No rush, no heady expectations. That piece is going to get shattered under there. Gotta bulk that up more. Ooh. Nice job, Mauricio. Have a good one. Sleep well. Sleep very well. Polish up the root beer. Yeah, if we're lucky, we get our pumpkins donated to us. Hopefully we'll catch you tomorrow. Yes. In fact, probably definitely, because tomorrow I should have the damn big screen going. And I will totally want to test that. Absolutely doodly. Hail the All-Father. Amen. That's always the problem, Bohemian, with a lot of the kids. What do you want to be for Halloween? And it will change 50 times over the month. The guy whose house I haunt has kids, and I want to be this. I want to be that. I don't want to be that again. I want to be this now. I know I said that, but I meant this. Child, you will pick your costume, or so help me, I will pick it for you. And you won't like what I pick. Guaranteed. This is very drippy drooly. How much more is to be done on this? In a way, I'd almost rather have some sections of this dry, because right now it is very, very soaked. So sections of this dry, then I can do a lot more with it. I think this is good. I think I have the foundation down. I can go more kitschy on it tomorrow after it's had some drying time. It looks a little lopsided as well, which I don't like. That balloon is a little off kilter. Let's use up the last of this cotton. In fact, let's squeegee out this cotton. Let's dump the paste back in. Take care, gotta go. Happy haunting to you as well. Thanks for sticking with us. Yeah, that's also better. Some drier pieces, put them at the bottom. They should wick up the extra moisture. Woo, 40 masks in 2 months. Damn! That is some productive crafting, my friend. Very productive crafting. I don't think I can make 40 masks in 2 months. Oh, very cool. Now, feel free to leave your Instagram in the comments. I and other folks can zip through and have a look. I agree with you, Twisted. It's not too bad here tonight. But some places, yeah. 100 plus. Nope. 100 plus is just wrong. Wrong. TGBH. How we doing? It's a good night for gaming. I would have been playing Dig or Die tonight, but my regular player 2 was doing something else this evening. I have seen milk jug skulls. I love the look of them. I love the fact that they are El Cheapano. I have simply not had the wherewithal myself to experiment with them. I know it's pretty much skull, milk jug, heat gun, and damp sponge. Sorry, I totally missed that comment because it's tiny. Alright. That's drippy as hell. Is this centered? Well, even if it's not going to matter. That's tomorrow. That spot really could use some more tonight. That looks great. I worry that the balloon is sliding while I'm working. Alright, well, let's do just a last little bit. Hello, Fuzzy Cat. What are you doing? I hear you breathing and huffing and puffing down there on the floor. Hi, what's up? Okay. Too much paste. I do not want more. It's super wet on this. Alright. Top side. More bulk. Big flats are fine. Let's catch up again. Yeah, GGBH, I'm glad we're getting notifications too. Emily, I honestly do not want a hook at the top. I want these to always be held up by the three strands. I want this to be like a kind of like a Catholic Church censer, incense censer. I want it to be a swinging manifestation. You could easily do that and build it in, no trouble. Just not the look I really want. Another one of those great aspects, if people want to put a hook in the top, they can put a hook in the top. I'm sure a hook on the top will look fine. Plus, this one's also going to have 3D extensions, which we're going to work on tomorrow. It'll take a little longer to complete, but it'll be worth it. I don't know if I like dropping those ribbons of batting as the core branches. It seems like right now I'm having to go back and just cover them up more than I'm getting use out of them. Maybe I just need to make them thinner. All right, okay. This piece probably needs to stir up. It's been settling for the last couple of hours. Yeah, could just be a watery paste problem. Ah, classic issue. The boyfriend slash husband slash significant other is an absolute furnace and heat generator. I know that one. Macrame jute. I honestly can't say I have ever done anything with macrame. I can barely even picture it as an art form. Not knocking it, I just don't have the experience with it. Yep, I stirred glue with hot glue. So I stirred glue with plastic. This is fast approaching done as it's going to get tonight. I'm also really kind of looking forward to having the beach balls, because I know they won't pop. Actually, that's something I should probably put into the main tutorial video. Can be done with a balloon. Recommend 6-inch beach ball. This thing pops halfway through and it's still wet, you're in a world of annoyance. You're not screwed, but God, what a pain in the neck. Let's use the last of this. Let's mop up the dribbles. I really gotta catch up here. Okay, so kind of like a, I'm a little bit behind with you there, but kind of like one of the old lobster flotation things around a glass orb. That kind of pattern. I have seen some rubber balls in Walmart that would have been perfect size, and yeah, they would have needed that air needle. My only concern is that they wouldn't deflate well enough to squeeze out that 3-inch diameter hole that's usually at the bottom of these. I'm worried it might be a little bit too unforgiving in terms of its deflated size. Jam that in. Left, yep, a few pieces left. my jam. Still too wet. Let's see if we can bleed some water off of this. That kind of worked. Great. All right, we're done. We're done with that. Oh. Nope, I'm a liar. I'm a huge liar. One piece of cotton left. We're not done with that. All right, now we're done with that. Oh dear. I have used toilet paper in a project or two, Sarah. I love the paper clay that it makes. I absolutely adore it. It is easily 10 times easier to capture detail in toilet paper clay than it is in standard clay. Je adore. I am going to forget where I put that. Unless I put it up there. This. Yep, it makes paper clay that is so sculptable. Holds detail 10 times better than the insulation fluff stuff. I don't know if I want to leave that there and paint pumpkins because I think it's going to fall over. Let's put that in a more dishwasher safe location. Look interesting. I don't know if you could have the and talk about the pulled apart cotton on the inside. I don't know if it would hang straight down as copacetically as you're imagining it, or if it would want to slide and just be a pain. I think it would act a lot more free-forming. Plus, you might have trouble with where exactly the light is wanting to hit. I don't know. Not imagining it working out great. Yeah, cotton and rain would be bad. Yeah, dry heat. I'll take dry heat over moist heat. least in dry heat, I can go outside and get dry. And the sweat will want to bleed right off of me. Whereas in moist heat, it's sticky, icky, and stays that way. Yeah, crumpled cellophane, especially the iridescent stuff, could look amazing. Because it would give you that, you know, pearlescent shine to it as you moved around. That could be really cool. Possibly. I don't know how much it costs. All I know is the polyester fluff is cheap as chips. So, alright, I'm going to cap this up. I'm going to use the bathroom. Or I'm going to cap this up, move that thing, use the bathroom, and then we're going to paint some pumpkins. Or I'm going to paint some pumpkins, at the very least. You guys can paint pumpkins, too. Alright, I'll move the camera a little bit so I can maneuver. Oh, the knees say you haven't stood up in a while. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Yeah! Victory! That is what forgiveness sounds like, Carl. Screaming and then silence. That means we can point the fan away from the camera, but at the other project. I mean, the fan's plugged in. No. No, it's not. I was recombobulating all the plugs earlier. Okay. Restroom, pumpkins. to be water. Let's grab this one as well. Next. Okay. All right, let's catch up. All right. How the hell was this before? We're going to call it that. And black paint. Good. I did unplug the glue gun so that I can move. There. Have a touch up to do later, but we may as well just do the bulk of the bottom today. Because you need a cute way to say somebody is a piece of fecal material. Majesty, I have never seen you that pouncy before. What were you going to pounce on? You don't normally ever pounce. You're a pounceless pussycat. Probably on an angle up for this. Probably on an angle up more for this. Not that it hugely matters, but I like at least having the bulk of my shot in the frame. Let's get that further from the tablet. I have two kitties. I have Samhain and a Majesty. Samhain is a male. He's about 3 years old now, and Majesty is his mom, and she is about 4 years old now. I really should have my lazy Susan out to do this. I've already started and it's not that much of an issue. Wow. And while my cat Samhain is a high-tech pussycat who likes lasers, Majesty is a low-tech pussycat. While she is nowhere near as active as her son, she will chase things of nearly low nothing value. Our latest tizzy was over a crumpled up piece of Scott towel that I missed a toss on the garbage with. And she was involved with it like it was coming after her to kill her. Ugh. I'm not a huge fan of emojis myself. I don't text or anything like that. You have something to say, just say it. Maybe that's the pot calling kettle black, because I often do put smileys at the end of my Facebook messages, but and YouTube comments. But that just implies that I'm smiling as I write it. To this day, my favorite cat to watch with an object is the cat Maru on the internet. Because Maru will get into any box. Maru is not a small cat, but Maru will try to get into the smallest of boxes. And it is oftentimes hilarious to watch. The cat will also dive bomb its way into boxes, which is likewise very amusing. Alexa, turn off craft light. Oh, that is so much better. I was getting blinded by that fluorescent in the face. Now I can see all the spots where I missed. Cha-cha-cha. I'm gonna have to get a book on like conversation starters and topics, so if I ever get too quiet or have nothing to say, I can go, this discuss. Yep, if it fits, I sits. That's the one. Round rainbow. That just sounds appealing no matter how you say it. Don't know how touch-up's gonna be on this one. I also think I'm not going to work myself into a paranoid fit about covering every last little square centimeter. Those tiny errors are going to be invisible, and this guy should not be out in any serious weather ever. Try to cover everything. If I miss a little something, oh well. Just going to get another varnish coat after this. So. Hmm. Kid in the dark. My cats like to sleep in the sink a while ago, too. They gotten out of the habit, though, but Majesty in particular would love to curl up in there. Mommy, can you come out and play with me? Yep. Well, it could be worse. My good buddy's 4-year-old, the other day I was over at his house, and the 4-year-old went to use the bathroom and came out to tell us something he was extremely proud of that occurred in there, which, you know, we really didn't want to hear about. Cool. Hey, kitten. Good girl. Ah, yeah. 3-year-olds and potty habits. I know some folks with extremely young sounding voices. Of course, what's really got to be a pain is if you call any kind of institution for, you know, technical support, online banking. Hi, I'd like to look at my account. Yeah. Is your mommy or daddy at home? No, I own the account. Yeah, come on, kid. It was funny. Alright, I gotta move this pumpkin out of here and grab Goober Face. Little camera motion. Oh, where's he gonna go? He's gonna go over there. Very stupid place. But it's all the room we got. Should be alright. Goober Face is gonna have to stay there though. Just have nowhere else to put him. This will let us see the goobers. How will they come out? Gotta avoid that. Oh crud, no, he needs a white coat. Bollocks. Bollocks, bollocks, bollocks. Well, I can get away with this. Just keep the white coat away from the major deficits. Well, you don't fit in the bucket so well, do you? Yeah. Ugh. Might just have to keep him. This ain't washing up later. Oh, so close. Yeah, I might just have to keep him here. To rock back. Be careful with that. Woo. Alright, let's catch up. Yeah, this one's definitely more the bucket problem than the bucket solution. If I had a bigger bucket, kind of like a Jaws the movie problem, we're going to need a bigger bucket. I think I can turn the light back on. Alexa, turn on craft light. Alexa, turn on craft light. Yeah, that's not bad. Hi, Sam. What are you doing? You have that I'm about to knock stuff over up to you. Let's avoid the gonna knock stuff over. If we can all help it. Some of these nooks are going to be tough to get painted into. Alright, that's one problem with the twists. I'm going to use the old saturation method. Part of me is also thinking old goober face here could be probably better if it was done in white, but I've already started the black. Yeah, this guy does have a good face. Oh, no problem, Angela. Alexa, stop. And there we go. This pumpkin has taken me precisely about 3 years. Though not because it's actually taken me that long, because I started him ages ago, and then just kind of lost the bug, and so he has sat unfinished on this desk for an age and a half. And only recently, with this whole let's try the live streaming and have people to craft with and chat with and Halloween with, has he actually started getting done. In actual time far less. Pumpkins only take, even with drying time, maybe about a week and a half at most. And that's putting in, 40 minutes here, 40 minutes there. Yeah, no problem. That music was, it's one of the problems with Sam Haines is if you listen to it long enough, it just starts to burn into your brain. Even if I could switch up albums of his, that would be nice, but friggin' YouTube. You have somebody else's music. Oh, you can't do that. We're gonna demonetize you. I should chat with Rob. I know a guy, what is it, Grave Gear Productions out of Long Island. He makes music for haunts. I should probably ask him if I can play some of his stuff on here. Only problem is I don't think he's got it through Amazon. So it would be more difficult to get it on a system. I have to maybe get a laptop over here or something. I have an old laptop that'd handle it. I could play it on the tablet as well, but catnip access. I would actually love to grow some catnip in the apartment for the fur balls, but I'd have to keep some sort of cage around it. Otherwise, they'd just get into it before the plant was able to take off. That would be problematic. Let's keep it going. I wonder if I should do the face first. Gonna have to use a detail brush on a few parts here. To be honest, doing the face is gonna be a lot more fun than doing the other parts anyway. I do have a few plants for the cats to nibble on. I've got a spider plant, which is all but unkillable, which the plants keep trimmed for me so it doesn't put dead things out everywhere. I had a couple of cacti, which in my stupidity, being a new cat owner, I was not aware that fur balls really should not be munching on. However, that problem solved itself, and they immediately started barfing up that cactus, and consequently never went after it again. And that was a new cat owner. Whoops, that was dumb. Wasn't happy with myself about it. So how many of you also have the problem where if you go to somebody else's house, or especially at some sort of social event or gathering, your first social connection is usually the family cat or the family dog? Never been a heavy grower of anything, really. Plants don't generally excite me. That's in part because, I've got an apartment. I can't have a big garden at all. I'm sure if I had some land, it would be like, ooh, I'd like to plant some of these and some of those. See how these come out, watch them over the years, walk out in my garden, enjoy it. Definitely. Nice. Yeah. I'm very much like that at social events. Oh yeah, these are people you don't know having fun and talking about things you don't care about. So, just mosey around and, hi, yes, you have a cat. Bye. Or, hey, dog, what's up? You want to play fetch? Thank God. Get me away from these humans, will you? Well, this means that, oh, that was lucky. I damn near black painted over the cotton filler. Woo! Super luck. It's gonna make it tough to dry brush too. In retrospect, if I ever do that to a project again, I'm gonna do it after. I'll do the behind the mouth gourd filling after the painting is complete. It should be a lot, or at least after the major base coating and dry brushing is complete. Make it a lot easier, simple to do. Avoid screwing the project up on a missed brush stroke. Wow, 15-year-old Pomeranian. Halloween garden. Yeah. Shouldn't be too tough to do. My mother took me to one of those fun little events where you go to the store and you paint whatever it was. The painting we were doing was poppy flowers, and after about, I wouldn't guess I was more than 10 minutes into it. I'd done my background. The background was supposed to be kind of happy, sunny, and yellow. I somehow managed to make it look foreboding, spirally, and vortexy. And then it was like, all right, now we're going to paint our poppy flowers. I'm like, nope, sorry. I'm going full 1031 on this thing. My flower is going to be something from a alien nightmarescape. Sorry, Mom, I did it again. I'm your son you can't take anywhere. a detail brush for that. It's rough when dogs pass. What any family pet passes, really. Let's not kid ourselves. It's never good to have any pet pass. I even don't like it when the classroom fish die. I should try airbrushing this again. Yeah. Bound to happen. I get to watch it in stereo on the YouTube. Oh look, there I am, about to screw up again. It's a weird form of time travel, looking at the screen. No, don't brush that way. Oh, you did it again. What is it, Mr. Plaintive Meower? Detail. Yeah. I am a teacher, yes, Stacy. I am a science teacher. Well, the problem that I have with class pets is that a number of our students are not terribly responsible, and things that are funny are more important than things that are moral. So occasionally I will find every fish in the tank dead because, suffice it, the fish tank is in the room opposite mine, which is often used for a quote-unquote study hall, even though our students have no homework. So they are in there and they are bored, and they are often sitting with people they don't like in terms of members of staff they don't like. So somebody might decide to throw an M&M in the room, and that will go in the fish tank. And even though the fish tank has a screen on it, normally, if the person watching that room is less than skilled in their classroom management, that M&M can get in the tank, and then the next thing I know, I have a whole lot of dead fish, and I'm furiously angry. I don't like it when living things die on my watch. over something stupid like that. That's why for the last several years I have not kept fish in there. So I don't want them dying to a joke again. Yeah, definitely a better idea to put that stuff in there after you have punkened. Kamikaze around the vacuum, huh? Oh, jeez. Can only imagine that one. Death Wish hamster. Name him Charles Bronson. Come on. Yeah.
The paint's in there somewhere. We're not sure how deep it is.
Yep. I like painting the goobers more with wood stain. Much easier than latex paints. Well, the problem with suggesting this to the art teacher is that we don't really have an art teacher. Our program has certain gaps in it which are filled by anybody we can stuff in there. So our foreign language teacher is the social studies teacher because she has taken one extra year of foreign language at college than anybody else. She doesn't particularly care for teaching foreign language, and makes that point all the time. But social studies is the only class where we have two people certified for that, and several of the other teachers have just art classes where they do whatever. So we do not have an art teacher because our school's budget, being an alternative school, is not the greatest. So we patch and make do where we can, which is no, it's not necessarily illegal, but it's not great. I'm not a fan of the practice. So, there's not necessarily an art teacher to suggest it to, and I have suggested it. Well, I shouldn't say I've suggested it. I've shown it to my colleagues before, and none of them has cared to go for it. Mostly because this project does involve some work. This is not a quick 1-2, pull out some paper, do some drawing, you're done kind of things. And it's not to say our teachers are lazy. One gal has put a fair amount of her own money into Shrinky Dinks and spirographs and stuff for the kids to do, but this is it's an involved project. You got to make your paper clay, you got to make your paste, you got to go get all this stuff in the stores. You got to deal with the fact that half the time the kids will not make their own paste, and so half of your time in class is just making paste and clay and trying to make sure nobody throws paste and clay. It's just, you know, it's not to say it can't be done with kids. I have done it in my science classes a few years in a row. Usually after our very first project, I offer the paper mache pumpkins, and I write it up to the principal as we're learning about chemical bonding, because honestly that's all paper mache is about. The bonds that form between the layers. So I can get away with it. But that is in a what is known as a non-Regents class. That's the class where at the end of the year they do not have a gigantic state test. They just need another science credit, and the state doesn't care what we do, so we can make pumpkins. And nobody's going to throw a fit. I should probably check the chat again, because I've been ranting a while on that one. Many students do love it, yes. And I do believe that art should be an essential class. The problem which arises from that in a program like ours is, again, we are an alternative school. We are for the kids who refuse to do homework, who are already behind in years, and for that case, art takes a back seat to the classes they have got to have to pass the test to get their diplomas. So it's a casualty of, I'm not going to say ability, but it's a casualty of effort in many cases. These guys just don't care about school, and so in some regards they have lost their chances to do the fun, kitschy stuff. And I've had many a teacher actually view the videos, say, "Oh my God, now I do this with my classes." So it's not to say it's a lost capacity. I have a very fond memory of one of those. In fact, I had, I believe it was a kindergarten teacher for Texas, send me a very embittered comment stating that, you know, she was all psyched about the project and she was going to use it, but but I swear in my videos, and so she couldn't use it, and she was so angry at me because I swore in my videos so she couldn't use them, and I wrote her one of the greatest little responses in my life. It was very, I am so sorry that 2 years ago I didn't foresee the need for this sort of thing. I'm so sad. I spent my own time, money, and effort making these videos, but I couldn't handle the thing that you need. It was all apologetic and bow and scrape. It was like, maybe one day we'll live in a more perfect world where people won't swear on their YouTube channels, and they'll be able to look into the future and see these needs. And maybe we'll be able to look into a world where teachers will find bits of resources on the world, and then they'll actually be able to adapt those for their own classes, like teachers do and should. And the next day that comment was deleted, and I felt very good about myself. One of those, I don't have to get angry, I don't have to get snide, I just have to bow in a scrape in a way that makes you feel like an asshole. I still hope that she learned from the project and her kindergarten kids got to do it, because that's good, but that's not the kind of message you can send to a YouTuber. You know. Precisely. That was very passive-aggressive. That was like all the passive-aggressive I could muster. Squeegeed into a rag and then put into a bucket and then dumped on that poor gal's head. And it worked. Worked like a charm. I don't think I could possibly get any further with him tonight. Every surface he's got that I still need to paint, I would have to get my hands goopy to do. So... yeah. Passive-aggressive is, there are times when it is applied to great effect. Great effect. I honestly try to teach my students how to do it, because most of them, their first instinct, whenever encountered with conundrum, is to lash out. You know, if they're out drinking and a cop pulls them over, you know, they'll be the ones saying "F you, cop" and "pig" and da 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 da. And rather than just shut up, apologize, and say nothing and be as cooperative as possible, you know, they'll encounter an aggressive state. In fact, I shouldn't say many of my students. Not some of my students have done that, but teaching that deflate the situation skill is one of the most key. De-escalation. Yeah, pretty much, Bohemian. Pretty much. The guy who made the video is not a mind reader. Oh, well, it is. Oh, I close these up right around time. Suffice to say, I can't access my project area anymore until this is dry and everything is all set. So I'm going to be done for the night. While this guy gets a night to dry, the other pumpkin's going to get a night to dry. That witch orb is going to get time to dry. And that's pretty good for now, I'm thinking. So we'll close up the stream here. Thank you all again for crafting with me. I really appreciate it. This keeps me going, keeps me sane, keeps me from going, I don't have anybody to do this with, I'm so lonely in crafting. And then, you know, it's awesome. Alright. Good night, gang. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Hopefully that screen will be working tomorrow, so I won't have to be doing this all the time. And we'll catch you around. Alright. Stay away from the wet pumpkin. Yeah.